libs have no idea what actual censorship and being shut down is because they don't experience it. Jimmy Kimmel's his face painted on walls and water towers across America. And what happened to Jimmy Kimmel? He was off the air for
4 days.
4 days?
4 shows.
4 shows? And Disney brings him right back. This is funny because there have been libs who have canceled here's Howard Stern, who's become a huge, very annoying lib. Maybe he always was, but at least now he's really bad. Here he is, 15, saying, well, I'll let you hear it from this guy. Play 15.
I just know when the government begins to interfere, when the government says, I'm not pleased with you, so we're going to orchestrate a way to silence you. It's the wrong direction for our country. And I should know. I've been involved in something like this. And now ABC is put in the same position. And it's unfortunate that ABC even has to be in this position. They shouldn't have to be in this position. I feel for them too in this. But that someone's got to step up and be saying, hey, enough. We're not going to bow. Now, it might sound stupid, but the thing I did this morning, I'm canceling my Disney Plus. I'm trying to say with the pocketbook that I do not support what they're doing with Jimmy.
Okay, can I just point this out? Now he's saying he canceled Disney, so I guess he's going to resubscribe to Disney. He's off the air for 4 days. These libs are such babies. This is not even a scintilla, Clay. This is not even a tiny little sliver of the cancellation and censorship and everything that the right has been dealing with for 20 years now, especially online. And we're supposed to care that Jimmy Kimmel, the government didn't take him off the air. You know how we know that? He's back on the air. I guess the government wasn't so scary after all. ABC News did this, I think, to protect him because the second round of what he was going to say on air was even dumber than the first.
I think there's truth to that. I have been saying since this all started, and I think people are going to slowly start to recognize this is about Disney trying to buy the NFL Network. I'm sorry, Jimmy Kimmel is just a pawn here. I think if Disney could just do away with almost all news, I think they would. Because they've basically done it at ESPN. ESPN breaks no news now. They're in bed with the NFL. They're in bed with the SEC. They're in bed with the NBA. Every time they break news, it just hurts their business partners. And so they're basically just a glorified middleman when it comes to sports. And then I think Disney just wants to make, left-wing, unfortunate programming, but I don't think they actually want to do news. I think if they could sell ABC News and get out of the news business completely, I think it's just a mess to them. It doesn't make any money. Jimmy Kimmel's show loses money. At this point, if you were just analyzing aspects of their business, this creates way more headaches than it does provide profits, and that's a bad combination, and I think they want out.
You know, I got to say, when I'm at the gym, Clay, down to 190, by the way. I'm coming for you, buddy. Where are you, 185?
Yeah, you're going to catch me.
You 185?
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw you putting away that ham sandwich the other day. I'm thinking 187 maybe. But anyway, yes, I'm by the way, I have to respect one thing about Clay. You know, you all know Clay is Clay, and he's been a very successful entrepreneur, put it that way. He will still drink a big old bottle of Mountain Dew in our studio. He is the only person I know, the only human being I know who in his 40s drinks Mountain Dew. So I got to say, Clay does not change one bit.
Laura has gotten me to give up soda. But
did I just blow you up in front of Laura?
Well,
I'm sorry.
I occasionally will have a soda, but it is super unhealthy. I get ripped all the time for the clothes that I wear, for the food choices that I make. I really haven't changed very much since I was like 18, for better or worse. So when it comes to what I wear or what I eat, and
so I would just say, back to the Kimmel thing for a second, because I was saying when I go to the gym and I've gotten down 190 now, whenever I see the screen, it's always sports in my gym. They don't allow Fox News. Only sports are on all day. They don't have any news, to be fair, really. Maybe CNN's on sometimes. I got to talk to them about that. But I see what the headlines are, and it's never news about sports. It's always just people having inane discussions, like, is so-and-so, and I know you know all these people and their backgrounds. I mean, the people they're talking about, but it's always, is so-and-so's new coaching contract like too much or just about right? And then you have adults sitting around talking. I'm like, who cares? Like, what is this? You're talking about someone else's coaching pay, and they'll have 4 people at a table, and I can just see because it's all scrolling with the text. I'm like, I cannot believe there are adults having this conversation, and this is like a thing that they're doing on this show. Who cares? But I have even noticed that it's not sports reporting anymore. Yes, they're not breaking news about the sports industry. It's like who's better. It's all versions of who's better, LeBron or Jordan. It's all, I take this side, you take that side of inane argument at ESPN. And I think it's just because you're right about how they really just want to be a middleman broadcasting of live sports with a lot of chatter in between.
The worst thing for them would be to blow up one of their franchise properties because they do a story that knocks a really good, talented player out of being able to be on television for them because it costs them money. Speaking of being on television, I now have an FS1 show where I sit around and talk about all the inane sports things that airs at 6 p.m. Eastern.
I didn't even know that. I got to watch at the gym now.
Every Wednesday, if you're working out at 6 p.m. FS1, you'll just see me. This is actually pretty funny. It's just me sitting and making sports arguments. I don't have anybody that I'm debating. It's just me in my own head. Laura today, this is 100% true. We're taping it. We tape it a day early. She said, "What time are you taping?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe she wants to come up, pay attention, see the sports arguments." And I was like, "Oh, 2:30." And she said, "Okay." And I was like, you got something going on? She was like, "No, I just want to make sure that we have someone putting makeup on you because," and I was like, "Well, I've been doing television for a long time. I don't ever wear makeup unless I'm in a studio." And she was like, "Yeah, but this one, they really kind of zoom in on you." This is all 100% true. And I was like, "So you're telling me I have to wear?" She was like, Yeah, I think you have to wear makeup. So this is, I will be made up, but I usually am never in makeup for any hit. But Laura was like, "No, the camera's too HD. They're too close. They really zoom in on you. You need to have makeup on."
She's just looking out for you. Someone's got to tell you the hard truths, Clay, and Laura's ready. She's ready for it. I will say this. Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. We both said this was going to happen, so we knew this was going to happen. I pointed out immediately when this happened. I said, "Guys, it's an indefinite suspension. That does not mean." And even the White House was saying, "Oh, he's been canceled. His show has been canceled." No, it hasn't. He's back on the air. Very curious to see if there's. I don't think they'll really. My guess is there won't really be any shift in the ratings. But to me, Clay, more than anything else, this just goes to show you, libs have no idea what actual censorship and being shut down is because they don't experience it. And the moment that they can even make a fake argument, in my opinion, this was always ABC was always driving this shit. It was not the Trump administration that was at the helm here. And the fact that they tried to make this argument so quickly and so vociferously just goes to show you they're a bunch of crybabies and they just want different rules for us and different rules for them. And unfortunately, they still have it at ABC.
One wrinkle here that is not being talked about very much, but is still in play. Nexstar and Sinclair are not carrying it. So, for instance, in Nashville, my ABC affiliate, I won't be able to watch the Jimmy Kimmel show. And many of you out there that have either a Sinclair or Nexstar affiliate, you wouldn't know unless you put your television on at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 Central. You wouldn't really know whether or not probably who your affiliate is. But that is something that I think could still be an issue because around 35% of viewers nationwide will not have access to this show. And I'm curious somewhat to see what he says. I'll tell you what I think he should say when we come back. In the meantime, it's been nearly 2 years since Hamas terrorists murdered more than 1,200 innocent Israelis, took 250 hostages before the day was over. In a couple of weekends, there's going to be a special remembrance. And remember, Hamas still has hostages. 2 years they have been holding some of these hostages. This weekend, as we get ready, a couple of weekends from now, Flags of Fellowship is going to be going on. Organized by the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Date is Sunday, October 5th. Just a couple of weeks away, millions of Americans will plant an Israeli flag in honor and solidarity with the victims of October 7th, 2023, and their grieving families. To learn how you can join the Flags of Fellowship movement, visit the fellowship online at ifcj.org. Stand up for Israel and join the movement. That's ifcj.org.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And be sure to hit that like button.